here is a classic Caribbean recipe. Growing up on the islands, stew beef. I mean, they say all them might want to put an ED and say stewed beef, but we're trying to fret about that. But stew beef was one of my favorite things, and not so much this recipe. What I'm talking about is the leftovers, the stuff my mom would do with the leftovers. You add some bacon or eggplant, you curry some potato, you make some chana and aloo or chickpeas and potato, any one of those, and you toss in some fried pak choy. Anyhow, let me get to the recipe. We'll focus on that later on. I have here 2.5 pounds of beef, and you can see it's about 1 inch cube, 1.5 inch cube. And I washed it with the juice of half of a lime and water. Cool water, drained it, it's nice and dry now. Lime, you made the appearance. Adios. Go back in the corner. Now we are going to season this. Now here's the thing. You can season this overnight. I mean, allow it to marinate overnight. But if all you have is a couple hours, you can do that. If you don't have a couple hours, don't fret. Simply because beef takes long to get tender. And I am accustomed to this being fork tender, pull apart kind of thing. So we're looking at anywhere from 1.5 to 2 hours of braising. Yes, you can use a pressure cooker, but I'm on the rocket so low and slow. Anyhow, where we go. We've got salt, and that is sea salt. I just like using sea salt. You don't have to. We've got black pepper, Caribbean green seasoning. And I make my Caribbean green seasoning with olive oil. And if you look at it, it's nice and shiny. Not just about the shiny part. It preserves it better. Plus, look at the vibrant colors. That's been made over a month ago. And all I do is, check the recipe on CaribbeanPot.com. A combination of tomato and onion. The tomato and the onion here, that is what's going to help us develop a rich gravy later on. So don't fret too much if you've never seen tomato in it. And plus, the tomato brings the balance with the acidity there. Just about everything I cook and I put tomato, I feel I have to explain myself because people always question it. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you are new to Caribbean cooking, Caribbean green seasoning, what you saw me added there earlier, that is just a blend or a puree of all the herbs we like using in our dishes, along with like thyme and scallion and shadow benny and cilantro and parsley and Spanish thyme. There's also garlic and seasoning peppers in there. So yeah, you want to check that recipe out at CaribbeanPot.com, and you can tailor it to your own liking. For instance, I don't like putting ginger in mine. My mom sometimes put ginger in hers. I don't like basil. Some people put basil in theirs. Rosemary. I'm on a rocking it, so I don't like rosemary and she family at all. So they don't make an appearance in my green seasoning. Anyhow, CaribbeanPot.com. Alright? We've got some Worcestershire. Whoosh. I pronounced it correct this time, I think, boy. Aye. That night school paid off. And the final thing I want in there is some tomato ketchup. Yeah, again, all are gonna question it, but so it will. Yeah, again, I should have used a bigger bowl, but small thing. We're just gonna give that a good mix. We want to make sure everything is coated in that Caribbean green seasoning, the ketchup, the salt, the black pepper, just about everything, yeah? Oh gosh, man. I know one of the questions going through your head right now is what cut of beef is Uncle Chris using here? Listen, whatever is on sale, whatever is cost effective for you, whatever is within your budget. I'm using a cheap cut of beef here, what we call stewing beef. I think Yanks, all they call it chuck. Anyhow, bring Chuck and the family home tonight. And as we usually do with anything sort of stew, or what some people call brown stew, we are starting in the pot there. I have 1.5 tablespoons of a light olive oil. That's why it's very clear, it's not as dark. If you wanted to use vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, coconut oil, you can use just about any oil in here. It really don't matter. And the brown sugar is a golden brown sugar. What's gonna happen here, and we've talked about this in previous recipes when I've done the stewed chicken and the pilau and all those things. This sugar, my heat is on high, by the way. The sugar is gonna melt, it's gonna become frothy, and then it's gonna go start going dark. It's gonna go amber in color. Once it gets to amber, before it goes black. We don't want it going black. If it goes black, it will be bitter. Shut off the stove, cool down the pot completely, wash it and start again. If it goes black, yeah, bitter, not tasting good. So the whole idea here is to have the seasoned beef close to the pot. The other thing is you want a dry spoon, because we ain't trying to put water in there. If water go in there, plow, things sparking and watch now, it's all kind of fireworks and people getting burned and all kind of thing. We're trying to avoid dangerous situations at all costs. It will become smoky, so put the fan on above your stove, open the window if you want to, but just keep an eye on things here. We really don't want it to go black, because then we have to start over. So there's that smoke I was talking about. There's that dark amber color, and here's where be very careful. Gonna add half of it, give it a stir, and then add the rest of it. The bowl, hang on to the bowl for a second. What we're gonna do now is bring this up to a boil. To assist in bringing it up to a boil, we're gonna place the lid on there. In the same bowl where we marinated the beef, we're gonna toss in about 3 or 4 cups of water. I'm gonna add another cup to there, and we're just gonna swish that around just to pick up all that marinade that's left back in there. It won't take long. You can see how much liquid is already, it won't take long to come up to a boil, but you can see how much natural liquid. I didn't add any liquid to there, so we're gonna turn our heat down to a simmer, which is medium low, and put the lid back on, but slightly ajar, and let that go for about 10 minutes. It's been going out for about 15 minutes. Earlier I said 10 minutes, but 15 minutes, and you can notice the lovely color we got here. What we got to do is we're going to remove the lid. We're not going to put the lid back on at this point. We will crank up the heat to medium to medium high. Don't go all the way up to high, because we don't want to risk it burning. But what we want to do is to build on that color and to sort of amplify the flavor. So we're going to burn off all that natural liquid that sprouted up there until we come back to the oils that, well, not oils, but the oil that we started with. So all you got to do is keep stirring it every minute or two, every couple minutes, just so we know it's not going to burn. And keep an eye on things. This is why we have the water in the bowl where we marinated the beef. Once that all burns off, we get a deep rich color, and we've got that nice lovely Caribbean stew flavor in there. We're going to put the water in there. Yes, you can use beef stock, but I'm an old school, I'm an traditional. I want to pay homage to my ancestors, so water is going in there. We're going to bring it up to a boil and braise it until it's fork tender. Yeah, it won't take long, so it's important that you hang around the stove here, because at this point, just as where when we started the sugar can burn, at this point it can burn as well too. But if you notice what I was talking about earlier, and there, you can see the oils, whoo, where we started off with. I'm going to add just a little bit more water, because it's just going to take a while to get to the sort of texture that I want. But all we got to do now is bring this up to a boil. So leave it on high, and we're just going to bring this up to a boil, as I mentioned there. As it starts coming up to a boil, I like to add some scallions in there. Yeah, in the green seasoning already I have scallions, but I like to repeat the flavors. And the other thing I like doing is some fresh thyme in there as well too. Again, something that's already in the Caribbean green seasoning. In my humble opinion, you cannot say you're making a Caribbean brown stew or Caribbean stew, chicken, beef, pork, whatever it is, without some freshly grated ginger. That ginger is going to give you that wow factor. Now keep in mind, the ginger can give you some peppery notes, so just keep that in the back of your head kind of thing, because if you're cooking for people who can't stand overly spicy stuff, you may want to hold back on what I'm about to do next. And that's a whole Scotch bonnet pepper. Now here's the thing. I said you can hold back on this. You don't need the Scotch bonnet pepper in there. But The reason why I added it whole is to show you that you can cook it with the scotch bonnet or habanero or whatever spicy pepper you like whole, and try not to break it during the cooking process. What's going to happen is the oils and the flavors from the skin of that pepper is going to add some nice peppery notes without being overbearing to the pot. Now the other thing is, later on, if you wanted to break it, and that is what I'm going to do because I like my food spicy, later on I will break that pepper in there. Boom, let that thing flow through there. The Caribbean sunshine, I'm telling you. Anyhow, it's up to a boil now. We're going to reduce it. We're going to put the lid on slightly ajar and let that cook low and slow. So we just want it at a simmer. It's been a couple of minutes, but you notice the gentle bubbles that I have going on there. That is where I want it to be because we want this low and slow and to develop all that flavor and get that beef nice and tender. The other sort of flavor ingredient, if you wanted to add in here, is a couple bay leaves and or a small stick of cinnamon. A lot of people like adding cinnamon in there. Again, I'm going to say brown stew, but I know it as stew. I am not a fan of cinnamon in there. But the bay leaf, yeah, you can drop a couple bay leaves in there. Back on, slightly ajar, and let that blub blub. It's been going now for an hour and 20 minutes since we added the water in there. I did have to top it up a little bit. I added an extra cup of water, so in total 5 cups of water. But what I'm going to do here is a few things. One, well, you can fish this out. It's done its job. We didn't break it, so we don't have to worry about that raw heat. However, I want the raw heat, so it's going back in there, and boom, I just broke it. Notice? Pieces. That's gonna hit me that nice bam bam. You know, I like heat. What can I say? The other thing you need to do here now is 2 other personalizations. Well, 3. Check to make sure the beef is as tender as you like it. It is to where I want it to be. Plus, we're going to cook this for another 5 minutes or so. The second thing, taste it for salt and adjust it accordingly. And third, we've got quite a bit of liquid still left here. What I'm going to do is crank up the heat now to reduce that down to the sort of consistency that I like. Now, keep in mind, this is a heavy pot. It's a Dutch pot which has been glazed in the heavy cast iron. It will retain a lot of heat, so the residual heat will further thicken this as it cools down. So keep that in mind. Lid off, crank up the heat, burn off that liquid. If you covered all the bases we just spoke about. On that high heat, it won't take overly long to thicken up. So I'm just going to fish out the sprigs of thyme. It's done its job. We don't need it in there anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, use a fork or something if your fingers can't handle the heat. Uncle Chris is a professional. Alright, I still get burned though. I still get burned. Anyhow, we're doing that. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pot. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie? The last thing I like doing is going in with that chopped up parsley. And parsley just brings a nice little color vibe. And I'm gonna shut off the stove because I know that's gonna thicken up. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure having you guys. Notice what I mean about thicken up? Look at that. It's already getting thick. Look at that. You see, I'm on the right. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. I do have some eggplant or baigan in the fridge. If you guys would like to see the baigan and aloo or eggplant with potato with leftover stewed beef, drop a comment down below and I will I'll organize that. Also, if you'd like to see a different version of this stewed beef with potato, which means you can have half the amount of beef and stretch it for a lot more people by adding some potato in there. I don't know what to do. Drop a comment down below. Irie? What's up, soldiers? Don't forget to click subscribe. If you've already clicked subscribe, hit that bell notification thing. I want to all you missing out on the new videos, man. Come on, click.